Hey everyone, this is Catching Up with the Camdens. I am Beverley Mitchell.
I'm David Gallagher.
And I'm Mackenzie Rossman.
And we're doing things a little differently, as you can see, because we are all in different places right now. But we are so excited that we are going to do another rewatch of season 1, season 1, episode 12, with a little help from my friends. And this is a fun episode. Lots of things are happening.
So many.
That's true, yeah.
New beginnings.
So many things, as we will get used to.
So many things. And one of the big things that is happening is Lucy is turning 13, and it is a big deal. And she makes it known right from the start that it is a big deal. And she has expectations.
You're so hilariously classic, like Lucy over the top. Like this episode just sums Lucy up so well. It's great.
It does, doesn't it? It's she.
I know. Honestly, though, she's not normally as self-centered as she comes across in this episode. Though she isn't
That's
normally
true.
quite to that level.
But you know what? I think also part of like Lucy wanting to have like such a special birthday is being the middle child.
Yeah.
I think she
Feeling
feels
invisible.
like this is her moment. Like this is like her day, and she just wants it to be
finally
perfect and wants it.
I'm seen. See me.
I'm right here. I'm 13.
I'm a woman.
That did not come until much later.
You were trying.
I think it was definitely but I think I also can relate to that. I mean, I think being an only child, I always made a big deal about my birthday. Did you guys do that? Like were your birthdays big deals?
Terrible time. No one wants to do anything for my birthday, myself included. It's
well,
like
your birthday's hard. It's
between Christmas and New Year's, which are like things I need strength for, like, and social stamina. I don't. When my birthday's here, I'm just like, let's just get gas station food.
Wait, did you have like
order pizza
as a kid? Did you celebrate like half birthdays, like to like so you could have like a summer birthdays?
Yeah, and as an adult, every year I tell myself, I'll have a party in June. June comes around, I'm like, I'm not gonna have. Hey guys, celebrate my birthday now. No.
The last birthday or your future birthday? Just be the
which birthday are you celebrating?
Which one would you do?
Yeah, you know what? I think I should. Yeah. I don't know.
It seems like the Camdens in this particular episode are particularly old-fashioned with the we celebrate a birthday by staying home and like drawing pictures for each other or giving each other things we don't want.
I know.
I love the gifts. Like, I think we make, we find, or we give away something that we don't want anymore. And and then also I love when Jimmy's like, he's like, so then I don't have to get you anything. And then of course Lucy does what Lucy does, which is hangs up with a hoof.
This is a star episode for Lucy's crew. Old Jimmy Moon and Dwight.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dwight, that kid. So when I saw him, I'm like, oh my God, he reminds me of Chris Farley. And then I look it up and he ends up playing young. He's in Beverly Hills Ninja as like young Chris Farley's character, which is ironic. And that's also sadly not where the similarities lie. But he was funny.
He had some good lines too.
He
really
did.
Good lines. And I love, can we also please talk about Eileen Brennan? Mrs. Bink, like, is just gold in every scene that she's in. And when
wonderful.
she's trying to get Matt to like keep her secret that basically she needs help, and just she kind of like, I also feel like she's got this like kind of like devilish smile. Like she loves having like Matt as her like go-to help boy. Yeah.
You can see in Mrs. Bink's character and performance, you can see it's a very two-sided performance because half of it is the kind of the desperation of being lost and confused in your own space.
Yeah.
And then the other half is that devilish twinkle in her eye.
Yes.
The signs
So
of the old Mrs. Bink that everyone knows and expects.
Right.
That has this sass and attitude that is very, and sharp wit. And it all kind of bubbles up and goes away in each scene, like in little flashes, and it's heartbreaking in a way. Honestly, it's a very it's my favorite performance of the episode for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I think Eileen Brennan, hands down, she's just pure gold. And whenever she came on, she brought something so magical. And I think also, like, at the time when we were shooting this and when we were reading the script, like, I didn't understand the fragility of that time in your life. And so now as we're older and we're seeing kind of the people that we love lose those memories, or, not remembering what they just said. And it's heartbreaking. It's truly heartbreaking. But like so well done.
We're dealing with a bit of that right now, and it's really crazy to, especially when it's a family member or something, just to see the person that you knew not be that person anymore. And to feel that, like, your freedom and your is taken away from you is tough too. Like, there's the transition between moving, having your independence, and needing help.
I think that's interesting. You bring that up, your freedom being taken away from you, because there is this element in the show here with Mrs. Bink. There is this resentment that comes from Mrs. Bink, and it feels like she's aware that she's losing a piece of herself, some of her freedom, and she wants to blame it on someone, but there's no one to blame it on.
Right.
And so you get this this flailing, which is very sad and very very relatable, where she doesn't really have anyone to blame, so she kind of lashes out indiscriminately, or blames the one person who's trying to help her, who's Matt.
Well, and she's fearful that Eric is going to put her in her home, like that Eric.
Yeah.
And I think that at that age, that's where you're kind of scared of, like Max said, of like losing that freedom and being kind of just put away and forgotten.
It's the circle coming back to.
So she's so scared. And I think, like, I love, though, the playfulness, and what a perfect scene partner in Barry with Mrs. Bink, because they have this like ongoing fun, but also like, Matt trying to keep a secret, knowing that like he will. And also like when Mary comes into play and kind of is now brought into this secret of keeping Mrs. Bink kind of safe.
I think a lot of the scenes too with Matt and Mrs. Bink work because they're both just so good at comedy too.
Yes.
And they're like on opposite sides of the spectrum a bit too in some regards. And it's really, really cute. Simon has a pretty big big thing.
One of my favorite scenes. One of my favorite scenes.
Same. When you, David, when you come into the kitchen and you take your stand for like women's rights.
No, it's
not really women's rights, but yeah, that was hilarious. She's a new mom.
Simon, can we talk about his?
No, the cutest thing, the fact that like you were like it was so funny because it's the first time that I'm like, oh my god, this is what David would be like as he's becoming a dad, like so protective, so like I'm gonna be that partner. Like, what do I need to do? Like, so like. It was so cute. He's like, I don't know, Happy's husband, partner, owner. I don't like. It was
Can we talk about his categorization of his role in all of this, please?
It is so cute. It is literally like, I love the grown up like Simon in this little body who's like, he is ready to take on the world and be the best dad for these puppies.
Simon is so extra in this. As Happy's husband, I was like,
it was
what
so
would you say,
cute.
bro? What are we saying? What? Huh? Excuse me? But the enthusiasm, right? You can't knock the enthusiasm. It's it is really funny to see Simon suddenly become like you said, such a hyper aware feminist on behalf of his dog who's never done this before, and
seriously my
she
favorite.
needs help and support, and I need to be there for her as the father of these puppies. And I was like, oh man,
it was the cutest thing ever.
And the overprotective nature, every time she's like Happy's let out, like you're like, she can't be outside. Like it's just like so.
Yeah. Do you know what was really
funny.
cute too, though, that I noticed? Like, there's one scene where you run in the kitchen and you're talking about Happy, and Eric and Annie are sitting there, and they each say to each other, "He gets that from you. He gets that from you." Like, they're blaming the other parent, but in like the sweetest way, like for the things you do right. And I'm like thinking, like, don't normally people go, "He gets that from you," and the kid's doing with it some undesirable behavior displayed, but I'm like, oh, they're so sweet to each other. I don't know.
I still think it was a little bit of like this over the top stuff is you.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, oh gosh, it was sweet.
No, it was all very tongue in cheek and sweet. Yeah.
Don't you find that though, as a parent now, that there's sometimes where you look at your kid and you're like, oh God, that's me, or you're like, oh no, that is not me. That is all you. And
Shauna and I say this to each other all the time.
Yeah,
me too.
But
like all the time. Yeah, it was probably the most relatable parental thing so far.
I know we got one, guy,
but I feel like they were giving each other credit for the good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny.
I definitely take credit for the good stuff when the good stuff comes.
But
then
I
also definitely
it cuts both ways. We do it for the
it.
positive things, but it's funnier for the silly things.
100%.
I like that scene with Simon and Ruthie where they're going over the names for the puppies. I thought that was really cute.
It's one of my favorite scenes. So first of all, I come up with the name Mac.
Was that what it said? Because I replayed it. I'm like, wait, what?
And then Everestus?
Mac Happy.
Was it
Everestus?
Everestus?
Like Everest.
And then I love Bean Blossom.
Bean Blossom.
Who can
for the win?
Who can
absolutely
Bean Blossom? And I'm pretty sure those puppies that we had were actually my cousin's puppies. So I actually brought them because she had just happened to have puppies, and those were the puppies that we used, which looked nothing like Happy because they were Australian Shepherds.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Happy could have shacked up with. We don't know who the father was. So
exactly.
No, that's very true.
No, it wasn't.
Happy
apparently, it was
getting around
Simon,
before she landed in the old Camden house. So she was. I
should have brought it
shacked up with a shepherd, I guess.
And then, can we please talk about Dwight? Because Dwight was having a birthday party on Lucy's birthday, which was like
he was so funny,
a big deal because he was planning
Dwight,
something.
Having just been introduced, just coming through to the house, to come in and sweet talk mom,
And how about his line? Kudos on the cookies. Betty Crocker has nothing on you. I remember when he said that line.
Me too.
I will never forget that moment.
No, as soon as I heard it, I had that it struck like lightning, where I was like, oh my God, I remember this kid.
I do, because I just remember that line and being like, that's okay. We'll go for it.
But that's what's so funny about his performance is that his performance starts off where he says everything kind of sassy and kind of slippery, and there's this drag on the way he says everything. But then by this point in the episode, after seeing him for a couple of scenes, it all comes across as very manipulative, and he's trying to be charming, and it's all just his way of ingratiating himself to everybody.
Because so it
comes across as intentional after a while, as opposed to just a tick or the way this kid talks,
because at the beginning of when we first meet Dwight, he's trying to get everyone to come to his birthday party, and all the girl, basically everyone everyone's mean. Like, all the girls are like, I don't know who you are. Like, never in a million years. Like, I'm washing my hair. Like, and then Lucy comes up, and apparently, like, Dwight's Jimmy Moon's best friend, who we've never met before.
Wait, didn't
That's
Jimmy
right.
Moon look
Well, it's
especially
early in the
sleepy
game. I think
during
that's
these?
fine.
Like, I feel
What
like
was that?
didn't Jimmy Moon look extra sleepy during some of these scenes? I thought.
He often was sleepy.
I know, but he looked
think
extra
that's just,
sleepy this
like-
time.
Jimmy Moon seemed to be his old self to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, maybe it was just standing next to like Dwight, who's basically like standing on a, auction box, like shouting at people. But
Yeah.
I do love the fact that he immediately hurls insults at anyone who rejects him, like without even taking a
that
breath.
was funny.
Yeah. Well, it's funny
don't
to
wanna
me
come to
that,
me? Well,
that they
fuck
paired
you.
Jimmy Moon with his best friend. So Jimmy Moon, who is very unbothered and seemingly barely aware of things that are happening, with his best friend, who's like a sassy kid. You know what I mean? And I just thought that they're like, it seemed so intentional to me that they paired up Jimmy Moon's kind of unique, quirky performance with another unique, quirky performance
100%.
and made them like this
this unlikely pair.
duo.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, and I also think there's a moment too in the episode where, like, I feel like was not the best moment for Lucy, where she became very shallow about Jimmy and Dwight not being cool. And since now Lucy is a cheerleader, obviously she is cool and could get cool kids to come to her party. And obviously as a parent, I was like, oh man, like,
Yeah.
but then again, she's turning 13. Like, of course all of these things are happening, and of course she's gonna, not be.
Well,
I mean-
I felt both ways about it. Like, I
Yeah.
was like, oh, Lucy is at the same time very relatable in the
Yeah.
sense that she wants to have her own birthday party, which is a
Right.
very reasonable thing to care about at that
True.
age. And she wants to remember, you say, I want to remember this day for the rest of my life. And you
Yeah.
say it like, come on, I'm 13. Like, it's
Yeah.
the most important day ever.
So
100%.
classic
Which is
Lucy,
all
though.
funny and cute in hindsight. But then, at the same time, you start to defend yourself on those grounds for the wrong reasons.
100%.
Yeah. So it's cute. And then it's also like, come on. There is a lesson here for Lucy to learn.
Yeah,
about.
we've raised you better than that.
Yeah.
100%. Well, then right after that moment, when Lucy kind of has a slip up, Simon has this scene was truly my favorite, when you come down to the kitchen and you're exhausted from being up all night.
Yeah.
And the
A
reason
new
why
father.
was because you were feeding Happy, because every time Happy fed the puppies, you fed Happy because you wanted to make sure that she had enough
Yes.
milk. That was so sweet. And actually, like, there's something so tender about, like, Simon's little heart, where, like, he's so aware, hyper aware, I would say,
Yes.
and hyper helpful. Like, it was just,
Yes,
oh my God, it's the
yes.
cutest scene.
It is. And again, Shauna and I say this about Lily all the time, where people are like, oh, like, is Lily helpful? And I'm like, yes, Lily is too helpful.
Yes.
And so, like, that sentiment is exactly what's going on here. Simon cannot help himself but to be hyper helpful, even if it's uncalled for, and exhausts himself from getting up through the night with Happy, just being a doting and worried father. He
And
says?
Ruthie
Yeah, I
sleeping
know
through
what
her
you mean.
Again,
shifts.
it's Simon's like conception of this maybe needs a bit of help. But
I love that you're mad at Ruthie, because Ruthie did not wake up and did not take part, and she didn't take her shift.
To be fair, I've been mad before because somebody didn't wake up to take their, haven't we? Like,
But it's so cute because now that we're parents, like, this scene, like, is even funnier because now it's so relatable that, like, you want your partner to, like, wake up and, like, take a shift and,
Yes.
like, that bitterness, like, when you see someone sleeping and you're tired and you're just like, you're just, like, so mad. It's so funny, but it's just so sweet as a child trying to take care of a dog. It's I don't think I saw the magic in it when we were doing it because obviously I wasn't on this side of life.
Yeah,
But
perspective, yeah.
now, oh, it's literally like so freaking cute. I love this whole storyline for you. It's so fun
It is
and
very cute.
so Simon.
I love that it is very Simon as well to not only put himself in this predicament that is exhausting him, and it's all kind of self-inflicted, but then to also treat Ruthie as his partner, as his partner in
100%.
crime, who is disappointing him, even though this is something no one signed up for.
Yes.
But in Simon's head, it all should work like this, and he's just taking the paradigm of parenting and over applying it as he will often do.
I love it. It's just
Ridiculous.
the cutest thing.
After this,
Yep.
we get into a little bit of what I guess is part of the A storyline or maybe the B storyline, but it's Eric who is going out of his way, bending over backwards, in fact, breaking things at the church so that he can help one of his parishioners who has lost his home.
Right.
And he's essentially trying to force work at the church for him so that he can give him some money and help him out without making it feel like charity. He's trying to give him the opportunity to work for things, and so he's just looking for any excuse to help out this parishioner. But what surprised me and what I wasn't quite ready for this early in the show, I obviously remember that this was a thing, but I didn't realize it was so quick in the first season, was that we see this parishioner who is living in his van with his wife and his daughter. And his daughter is my sister, Michelle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she popped up on my screen, I was like, "Oh my gosh, baby Michelle!"
Yeah, it's and the same. I did the same thing. I went, "Oh wow, this is Michelle's episode."
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was
that.
coming up so quick.
Oh, the moment she popped up on screen, I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah.
I didn't realize it either, so it was like
It
quite
made
a
Shauna
surprise.
cry.
Aww.
Shauna was like, "Baby Michelle, I've never seen baby Michelle before."
I know, it's such a trip. Like, I think that's what's so fun about reliving these episodes is these little nuggets that come to surprise us. It's like we're fully aware that these things happen, but they kind of pop up when you're just like, "Wait, what? They were in this episode? No way!" Like, it's so fun. I know, she's so cute. She's so sweet.
Yes,
Her scene
she
with
does a great
Eileen,
job with her couple of lines.
she did a great job.
And
She's
she
like, "I'm not scared of her." So cute.
She was very cute and she did a great job. And it's funny too, because, I doubt many people even to this day know that my sister, did a little guest appearance on the show and that's my sister, Michelle. But I'm the oldest of 5 kids. Michelle is the second. She's 3 years younger than me. So at the time she must have been 8 when we did this episode, give or take.
And she did great because she's working up against like Eileen Brennan.
Yep.
Which is just like so wonderful. And she held her own. It was a great scene. Like she's so cute at because we skipped over it a little bit, but after Mrs. Bink kind of falls because she was trying to get the can off the
shelf. Yeah.
And also I love Mrs. being Aunt Gladys and calling and getting Matt and Mary in trouble.
Yeah. The Aunt Gladys sketch made me laugh, yeah.
After she breaks her hip, and then, we finally get Mrs. Bink home and like Eric would, Eric finds a way to help a family and to help Mrs. Bink feel needed, because I think that's what the doctor says, is that the biggest thing that someone in that stage of life is they need to feel needed. They don't want to feel insignificant, and they need to have purpose, and that part of that is like kind of teaming her with this family in which she can help them, but she also has like a little mini family.
There really are a lot of similarities between the beginning of your life and the end of your life. Like, I was thinking, for her, losing independence, that's the same. When you're a kid, all you want is to gain independence. And that's probably why it's so sad when you're losing it again. But also the need to feel needed, too. I mean, that's what makes kids happy.
Yeah, of course.
But really, I bet the similarities don't end there. But it's a big circle. It's sad when you're
and I
near
love,
the bottom again.
the way that this comes about. It's all kind of orchestrated by Eric, as many events in the show are kind of in the background as the puppet master. He's trying to put people in the right place at the right time so that his plan can happen on its own, sort of a thing. But having the family at Mrs. Bink's house, and then Mrs. Bink trying to ask without asking that if they could stay, just until he gets back on his feet, or I get back on my feet, or whatever.
Right.
And so
or
there's
she
this
graduates
great
high school.
little exchange. It's very charming and sweet, and turns out to be a great little solution to Mrs. Bink's issue, because they make a point to show that it's not just because the dad is a handyman and that's what Mrs. Bink needs, but they show the mother helping Mrs. Bink with her medications, and then they show the daughter sitting with Mrs. Bink and giving her company. And so you see that this little family, that each member of the family has something to offer Mrs. Bink that she needs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember seeing this family, though, in subsequent episodes with Mrs. Bink. I remember her.
It was just the one.
Did they end up
'Cause
not
we don't-
moving in, or do they live in her garage and we never hear from them because it's...
No.
What happens?
Well, like Seventh Heaven does, we wrap it up.
I think
with
it's
a big
just
bow.
we move on from this vignette and move on to other things. But I think it's it seems to be a nice little wrap up for the kind of two main stories of the show to come together at the end, and each one solves the other's issue in a very communal kind of community focused way. It's nice.
And then we go back to Lucy not wanting to go to Dwight's party because
at the same time. Meanwhile,
big things are happening for Lucy.
And Lucy finds out that
but before that, though, I think is a very sweet scene, because also the through line, because Eric is helping this family who has lost everything, is this notion of how he didn't raise us right, because Lucy is so centered on like wanting what she wants and not recognizing how much she already has. So there's this very big teachable moment.
Yes.
Where Eric is disappointed in himself, and Lucy, I think, actually said, because he said he failed as a father, and Lucy says, no, you didn't. Like, you did teach me the right things, but I haven't learned them all yet. And I thought that was actually very sweet, because there's often times where like we do instill these lessons and we do these things, and like not everyone catches on the first try. Like sometimes it takes a little bit longer, and it's that recognition of like, one, she does recognize how much she has, she does recognize how much she's loved, but she's just having this moment as a 13-year-old that she wanted something something special. Meanwhile, I also in my notes, I love that Ruthie decides like she just wants to give away the puppies because they don't do anything, because it's this notion of like puppies are boring because all they do is eat and they like sleep and they poop, and I don't I don't want them anymore. And and Simon, but then also when Simon talks about like finding homes for them, Ruthie's also very focused on the fact that they can't be split up because it's like would be like splitting up Ruthie and Simon.
Yeah.
And
Very
that
sweet.
very sweet line that Simon has. Do you remember the line? I wrote it down because it's so cute. What
Which
God
one?
has brought us together, let no man take apart.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, my little Bible quote.
Yes, it's which is also just again so sweet because it's this like this father-like figure for these puppies. And it's just really cute.
I think the show, and this is, I think the show constantly showed its strength in demonstrating the voice of children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, some of it's a bit campy or cheesy or, or silly. But in the dialogue, in the way that the kids are perceiving the storylines that are going on around them, the show really captures like the innocence of childhood in a way that feels unique when I watch it. And it does make me smile, and that sometimes it's a sweet smile and sometimes it's like a cringy smile, and sometimes
yes.
but it always does have that effect of making me go like, oh, that's so funny that they wrote the kids like that, that the kids have this very unique, innocent perspective, and they did a great job with that over the course of the show, I think.
And did you guys notice that when there's a scene in the middle school hallway, and that's when we didn't have the hallway set yet, so we were in a real school.
Yeah. You could tell when we were outside when when Dwight's shouting at kids and stuff. That was like the
Was
front
that
lawn
university?
of that school that we shot at for a while.
No, that wasn't university yet. That was the one over in North Hollywood.
Yeah.
The little, I forgot the name of it, but it was like right around the corner from the church.
Yeah, it was near the church. Yeah, and there was a school that we used in the beginning for a while. Yeah, and we would shoot outside, inside, but I did notice that. I went, oh yeah, this is when we used a location for the school.
I know. Yeah, we used a location for the exterior and the interior, which was definitely like didn't happen like further on in the seasons when we dive deeper into the show. I also when Jimmy reveals that he was throwing a surprise party for Lucy, but like Lucy ruined it, which is also again a total like typical Lucy storyline where like something good was meant for her and she totally like messed it up.
Yeah, that reveal was, and it's and Jimmy Moon, of course, just lays it out to you in a way that where you're like, oh man.
Yeah.
He tried to do something sweet for you. Maybe the effort was not obvious to all, but it was there.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So then we go out to dinner, like as we do as a family, and we have our family dinner. And, when something's, I forgot where they talk about like a gift or something. And she said she learned, this is what Lucy says, I learned a lesson and that's a present from life. It is funny because I feel like sometimes like there's these very strange moments where like Lucy will say something that is like, it makes sense, but it's still a little like, because I don't feel like she's all that wise. I feel like Lucy's still like struggling to figure it all out, especially at 13. And then wham bam, we have a surprise party.
Well, again, the kid's voice, right,
yes.
is not a perfect perspective with all the information that you would need to make the same decisions an adult would make.
Yeah.
But it's they do a good job at kind of giving us all our unique kid's voice that means well and gets things wrong and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, we come home from a dinner out, which is it's a much more normal way I think normally to celebrate a birthday, right?
Yes.
To have dinner out, and then we come home to a very dark house, and then we walk through the dark house, and you can immediately tell, right? There you go, here it comes.
Yep.
And then the lights kick on, and lo and behold, all of Lucy's friends are present for
boys
the
and
surprise
girls.
party. Boys and girls.
Boys and girls, because it's a
just
boy-girl
the way
party.
she wanted.
Yep.
It's a boy-girl party.
Yep.
That she's too young for, maybe, but here we go. Right?
Yes. And it was funny too, because I didn't realize that Mila Kunis was in this episode, because
me as
Ashley
well, yeah.
Ashley comes back.
How
Ashley
do you feel
also,
about dancing with an older woman?
Yes, I love that line. It's so cute.
When that part comes up, I went, "Oh yeah, that's Mila Kunis," and Shauna was like, "It is." I was like, "Yeah, that's Mila Kunis." And then I put in my notes, "Amazing dancing."
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. I do love also that Lucy acknowledges that she didn't deserve this, but she's grateful for it. And I also love that it's the older sister moment with Mary, when Mary's like, "Yeah, you definitely didn't." Like, she like calls her out. Like,
yeah.
There's like,
she was pretty disgusted.
The sweetness, and then Mary is just definitely like the grounding force, being like, "Yep."
But when Lucy made the cheerleader comment to her disgust, she was just like,
yeah.
So
the Mary Lucy dynamic and sisterhood is just like through and through, like solid.
Yeah, it was great.
But in my notes, I literally wrote OMG the dancing with Dwight. And when Dwight admits to being in love, and it's just this like, it's all it is just like arms, because it was so honestly, bad. It's so bad.
If you just enjoy this moment, there's so much amazing dancing going on to be seen. One kid in the background is doing one of these.
Oh my gosh.
Just really aggressively.
Because also keep in mind, for the audience to understand, is that we don't get music. So there's no music that we're dancing to. It's just silence. Nope. So the people, like, everyone has their own music in their head going, and we're not dancing to the same song, people. Like, so.
Oh man, it is always a treat when you're on a stage. I would say probably more particularly for television. It leans into this problem more, but like having a room full of extras.
Yep.
And the main cast, and everyone has to dance, and then what happens is they might play a snippet of a song, which one is not going to be the song that they actually are going to use in the episode if they
don't know what that will be.
Is indeed a song. Yep. And two, they're going to play it for about 3 seconds, not long enough to catch a beat or anything, God forbid.
Yep.
And then they're going to cut the music, and the AD is going to shout at the top of his lungs, "And dance." And then 50 or so people stare at you and everyone else as you do things like this.
Yeah.
whatever this was.
Well, mine
doesn't, it makes nothing in life after that could really be all that embarrassing, could it?
Like we were like,
it's the perfect foundation for just pinnacle of confidence going forward.
So Dwight and I were like sawing logs. We were just going back and forth. Like, this is all that was happening, and we're trying to talk. When Dwight so sweetly admits, what were you going to say, David?
Well, and then
because twerking hadn't been invented yet.
With my favorite note, which is Dwight is sexy.
Oh, well, wait, first of all, you forgot. Wait, hold on. You are skipping. You are skipping something. It is important to acknowledge that Dwight admits being in love with Lucy.
That's right.
And she finds that sexy.
Okay, so she
does.
Lucy loves love. Let's be honest. Lucy loves love. She is the hopeless romantic. Everything has to be some big gesture. And let's be real. Jimmy Moon's not really giving it to her. Like, he doesn't profess his love. He basically, like,
he's a glutton for punishment with that one, for sure.
He's very
Jimmy Moon is confident. Okay, he doesn't.
He really is
compete.
But at this moment, Lucy likes feeling loved, wants to feel appreciated and understood.
Lucy loves to be loved.
Dwight made all this effort for a surprise birthday, went and talked to her mother. Like, she sees all these things as very sweet. So let's be real. Like, But I do also love that Mary was trying to be the big sister and trying to like shut Lucy up and being like, Lucy, just be quiet. Like, stop talking. Like, stop talking. Because she knows that the family is all standing outside the door waiting to give her gift.
Mm-hmm.
And that she's going to be embarrassed by what she says. And what does she say? She says, Dwight is sexy, and I wrote, I am dying. That's what I wrote in my in my notes. I'm
And
like,
Simon
oh my
is
God.
the one outside the door who starts laughing.
Also, Simon who comes in
yes.
and also repeats it. And who totally
Which she doesn't seem to catch on though, thankfully.
And then Lucy's just kind of like, like definitely doesn't see it.
Yeah. Simon slips it in for a jab. Yeah.
Oh my God, so cute. And I love like all the gifts, like the Hui pass. Where
the gifts are very sweet. You know, they take that old trope of making your family birthday gifts, and they actually demonstrate, I think, in the end, maybe the best of that tradition. And again, I was like, I can't believe they pulled it off, but they did. Where the gift giving from us to you, all the gifts are very thoughtful and very sweet. And it actually is a great payoff for Lucy's birthday.
I like Mary's gift. My diary, it's not new. And she's like, I think you're finally old enough to read it. It's like empty. Like, I wrote in 2 pages. Well, I didn't have a lot to write about. It wasn't a big year for me.
It wasn't a big year for me. But but again, giving something of yours away, if you're going to give something to Lucy, giving her a diary is poignant and perfect.
It's
and
perfect.
So again, it's like they really do hone in on this idea of re-gifting as a family, and they do it in a way that works.
Totally. And I also love that Matt gives her basically like a loofah and soap and deodorant.
I'm so cute. Her little puberty basket there.
and then the sweet moment from Eric, which is a picture from Dad. Oh wait, I don't want to skip over Simon's 13 days of bed making, because
that's right. That's also Simon gives a practical gift,
and also it's 13 days because it's her 13th birthday.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
I remember going, why is it 13 days? That's like not 2 weeks. That's like not. That seems strange. But you're right. It's because it's her 13th birthday party, and I completely missed that. Yeah.
Well, you're welcome. And then the locket from Mom.
The locket,
which is very sweet. Which is
and again, it doesn't even need to be said at this point. But Catherine, through the whole episode, is wonderful and like on point and sweet, and just watching her hold the locket in anticipation of giving it to you.
Yes,
was one of the moments that almost got me watching this episode.
It's so tender, and I think what's also nice is to see this payoff of like all Lucy wanted to feel is special and to have something memorable. And even though everything didn't go her way, it ended up being even better than she could have imagined, and more meaningful and more special. I remember shooting this episode, and I just remember like it wasn't often that we were all in Mary and Lucy's bedroom. So I just remember this being like a very like sweet scene that was, you know, really special. And I think for me, like being an only child, it was really nice to have this like moment with all of you guys. Like it brought back a lot of memories, being like, oh, I love these people so much. Like what a gift that we had, that we got to do all of these things together. And I mean, that was the episode. That was with a little help from my friends. And it was far cuter and more memorable than I remember. Again, it's such a gift for us to be able to like kind of go back and relive all of these and trigger memories that haven't been unlocked in a really long time.
Yeah, that's what I'm enjoying, is just going into each episode and going, I do remember this. Wow, we did that. Yeah, I remember this day on set, or I remember, you know, it's and I'm curious to see how strong that memory is over the course of all the years that we did it. But for the first season, I'm surprised pleasantly at how much I actually remember about making it.
We're really lucky to have these sort of retrievable tidbits from our childhood that, you know, I mean, if not for being able to rewatch these things, those memories would probably never happen again for many of us. Just lost forever.
Totally. Agreed. I think it's and it's also, it's now, not that it ever was surprising, but I think sometimes it was hard for me to imagine how the show was so impactful. Like, it was, because we didn't watch it from a viewer standpoint, we lived it. So, but now watching it, I was like, I get why people love this so much.
Yeah.
I get why people connected so much. I understand why they connected with each one of our characters in the ways that they did. Because it is so, there's just so many golden nuggets. And I do have to say, though, there was a few times in this episode, because, you know, Lucy's turning 13 and Kenzie's 12, that there were moments where, like, I did things on the show. Like, I had some reactions, or I spoke a certain way that I'm kind of freaking out, because I feel like she's coming for me, because Kenzie naturally does a lot of, like, Lucy things. And I even told Michael last night, I'm like, dude, we're in trouble, because it's not even like Bev. It's like we're like leaning towards Lucy.
Wait, so
guys.
so two of you guys have children that are like your characters. So you have overly helpful Lily, and you've got, you know, little,
and I've got a little
drama
bit of a
queen Kenzie or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
But sensitive. I would say she's not drama queen. She's not a drama queen.
Okay,
she's very sensitive. She's very sensitive. So there's definitely these moments where, like, I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, when
it's coming.
In that scene where Simon comes down exhausted from his night of fatherly attention to the puppies, and you know, and I'm being very expressive and you know, exasperated and all this stuff, and Shauna looked at me and she goes, "I didn't know Lily was in this scene." And it's so funny, because we had that very same experience watching this episode, where it dawned on us quite clearly that that the parts of ourselves that come through in the characters can be seen very clearly in our kids.
Isn't it? It's nuts. It's so nuts. Oh my gosh. Well, that was, I think we can probably wrap this one up with a bow. I think we I think we did it, guys. What a fun rewatch of With a Little Help from My Friends. And if you guys want to watch more, please subscribe, like, comment, all the things, and follow us next time for our next episode of Catching Up with Camdens. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, check us out on Patreon for early access to Catching Up with the Camdens episodes, exclusive group and individual content, access to all three of us via chat, and more.